Although flipping real estate is a more advanced strategy, it doesn't mean you can't do it as a newbie real estate investor. Now, I typically say that real estate investors should start with long-term buy and holds because it leaves way more room for error when you're learning the business and dealing with contractors. For example, let's say you over-renovate on the property. Well, your worst case is you can just hold the property longer until the market catches up and you make your money back. Flipping, on the other hand, can be very, very tricky. If you go over on your renovation budget here, or if the project takes longer and your carrying costs add up, you can lose a lot of money as you're dealing with a strategy that's much more short-term in nature. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 things you need to do in order to make a profit every single time when flipping real estate. Let's get into the video. Number 1, first things first, in order to be a successful flipper is marketing. This is the absolute most important thing because your deals must be actual deals. If you want to be a flipper, you need to buy properties way under market value. And the only way we can really do that is by buying deals off of the MLS. So the mistake a lot of newbie flippers make is looking for flips with realtors, with properties listed on the market. I get it. It's simple. You watched a lot of HGTV shows and that's how they're buying it. You know, that's how they're buying it. They're not. Okay, real flippers are going direct to seller. They're skipping the realtor. And I say this as a real estate agent specializing with investors in my local area of Kitchener-Waterloo, which is 1 hour south of Toronto. If you don't know where that is, I'm saying that as a realtor. So I'm being as unbiased as I can, you know? Don't use a realtor when it comes to buying flips. You need to work with either wholesalers, which is people who find deals direct from seller, or better yet, become your own wholesaler, which means you're doing the marketing, you're doing the flyers, you're doing the Facebook ads. I'm sure you've seen all the marketing maybe in your mailbox. Maybe you're getting bombarded by flyers like what we do. You know, the typical we buy properties, no commissions, no realtors involved, blah, 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 blah. You need to become one of those people. So you're sending out flyers, trying to get sellers to contact you. And like I said, we're mostly dealing with motivated sellers. So, well, it's really only people that are gonna sell without a realtor. And that usually means their house is trashed, it's garbage, there's personal stuff going on. Maybe they're getting a divorce, maybe somebody passed away in the family and now they've inherited this house, which is like straight from 1970s. It needs so much work and the kids don't want to deal with this property at all. So they're going to sell it super quick to an investor like us and just get it off their hands. We want those kind of deals because when we're dealing with sellers, you know, we can take off the commissions immediately. So let's just say a property would sell for $400,000. After commissions, that seller would walk away with, let's just say, somewhere around $370,000. So we can take that out right away, and then we're gonna buy even lower than that because we're professional real estate investors. We can close whenever you want. We're gonna buy the house as is, leave all the stuff you want behind, no problem. I'll take care of it, super, super easy. However, in exchange, I wanna buy the property for $340,000, $330,000, even though they would have netted, like I said, maybe $375 with a realtor. We're buying it for $330 because we can close quick, solve their problem, buy it as is, no conditions, no home inspections. We're just gonna buy it right here, right now. In exchange, we're gonna buy it for lower. This is super, super crucial because your profit as a flipper really depends on the price you paid for the property on day one. It doesn't depend, and trust me, don't get fooled by this. It doesn't depend on how much you can jack the value up, how much you can renovate it. Yeah, those things are good and we will raise the value a little bit, cool. But I'm telling you, your profit is literally in that initial spread at the beginning. Don't bank on, you know, jacking up the value 50 grand, 30 grand by doing your renovations. Your profit is at the beginning. So like I said, the most common ways we're getting to these motivated sellers is through flyers or online ads, which we focus mostly on Facebook ads. Now the thing with wholesale marketing, which is what this is called, direct to seller marketing, if you will, is the whole game is that it's very, very expensive, and he or she who spends the most money is going to win. This is the only downside of the business, especially here in Canada when we don't have access to all the wonderful things you guys have in America, where we can see exactly who's behind on their mortgage payment, who has liens on their property, who hasn't paid property taxes. You know, America is open for business. It is true capitalism. All of those things are open to the public. For me, being in Canada is absolutely mind-blowing. It's just like, a total invasion of privacy. However, I understand and I appreciate the open source kind of capitalism in America. But in Canada, we don't have that, so we can't just pick and choose and call directly someone who's down on their luck and say, well, I see here, you're 60 days late on your mortgage payment, I'll buy your house right now. No way, right? So like, it's so easy, it's like shooting fish in a barrel in America. It's absolutely insane. But in Canada, we don't have that, so you need to blanket neighborhoods with your marketing, which is the most effective way from what I've done over the years is flyers. So we blanket areas that we want to target with flyers. People call us back. Maybe they're motivated, maybe they're not. That's the only downside to Canada. But this type of marketing costs so much money. However, you can make so much money with flipping. So it's one of those things where you get what you put in and you got to put a lot in. The second thing you want to do to be a pro flipper is hire an acquisition manager on the team. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Matt, I just started. I don't even have that much of a marketing budget. How can I afford to hire someone on payroll or hire someone to be part of the team? Here's the thing, and this is what I wish I knew so many years ago. An acquisition manager, in most cases, and the way you want to do this, is they're paid via commission. So they're basically a real estate agent. They only get paid for what they kill. So if they bring a good deal in, they get paid. If they don't bring any deals in, they're not getting paid. So an acquisition manager is really great because they take all the phone calls, they meet with all the sellers, they make the offers, they check the comps. Like I said, they're basically your real estate agent, which allows you more time to focus on what's very important, which is focusing on getting your marketing dialed in and focusing on bringing capital into the business so that when your acquisition manager does close a deal, you actually have funding behind you to close this baby and start flipping this house. So for my acquisition manager, again, it's such a beautiful role because I don't pick up the phones, I don't talk to sellers, I don't do any of this. The only time I hear from him is when he bought a house, calls me up, says, Matt, we just bought a house, closing on this day. Sweet. That's the only time I hear from him really, and that's the only time I want to hear from him is when he's closing deals. So definitely hire yourself an acquisition manager. Find that hungry sales type person who's gonna be motivated by crushing deals, because the better deal that he gets for me, the more money he makes. If I make more money on a flip, he gets a cut of that as well. So he's incentivized to go crush it and get that low price, because the lower the price he gets, the more money we're both gonna make, which means he's gonna make more money as well. Number 3, you wanna focus on building your brand and building your social media. Now, I owe everything I have, literally everything I have, to my YouTube channel and to my social media following, because I've raised over $50 million just from Instagram, my Instagram following basically, and my YouTube following, to buy so many rental properties and so many flips. I bought, the only money I've ever put into my deals were the first 2 real estate deals I bought at age 22. Ever since then, I've put 0 of my own money in because I'm a master at raising capital, raising funds, raising partnerships to buy long-term hold properties with me. The only way I can do that is because of my social media, because I've built a brand, because I've shown so many before and afters. I've shown the authority that I have in this industry and the proven success I've had, and people follow along and they see that and they want to jump on a winning train. Now, if you're a type A personality like me, a big go-getter, an entrepreneur type person, you're a leader. You're a natural leader to run a company and kick some serious ass. But here's the thing, 95% of people aren't that. You know, some people try and run a business and they can be good at it, but they're not great at it. And most people realize that they're not a leader. They're not the front of the business, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, most people understand that if they can find someone who crushes it and knows the business, that they're better off just hopping on the train, giving their money and partnering with them, letting them do all the front stuff like this and running the business, and they can just receive money in the background. That's cool. So if you can become a great kind of indirect salesman, because what I really love about social media is that it's indirect selling. Like, I'm not up here often saying you should invest with me because I'm the best and you don't know anything about real estate, so like, you might as well just give me all your money. I say that sometimes, but most times I'm just speaking about what I'm doing, I'm showing what I'm doing, I'm teaching what I'm doing, and just the act of doing that, people are like, yo, Matt knows exactly what he's talking about, man. I'm just gonna invest with him, give him my money. Why would I even try? Like, he's got the whole system, he's got the employees. Dude, I'm hopping on the train. So a lot of people just message me like daily, like, yo, Matt, I wanna lend you money, I wanna partner with you in Florida, I wanna partner with you in Ontario and just buy some sweet deals. You do all the work, I'll give the money. I'm like, sick, dude. So like, that's the whole premise behind social media, and it's super, super important because back in 1997 and all those days, you'd have to go to networking meetings, shake hands, do weird, awkward pitches. Like, I got this deal on Main Street. It cash flows $300. ROI is this. Like, fuck that. Nobody cares about that, dude. I'm telling you, nobody cares about ROI and cash flow. I say this all the time. It's one of my most controversial kind of things. Dude, nobody gives a shit about cash flow or ROI. What are you talking about, Matt? That's what we all care about as investors. No. That's what people tell you they care about. They tell you they care about cash flow or the ROI. What they really care about is, can you help me spend more time with my family? How can you help me travel more so I can have a better experience with my kids and show them what the world is like? That's what they care about. They care about those things. So yeah, real estate investing and the cash flow can provide more time for Steve and his wife to be together, and so Steve can work less and have a better relationship with his wife. Okay, like, now we're getting deep. That's what people give a shit about. So stop talking about cash flow and ROI. Start building a brand on social media. Talk about real estate, but talk about the benefits of real estate, the benefits and the facts that you get to travel 4, 5, 6 times a year because you're your own boss. You can spend so much time with your wife or husband and your kids. Dude, you start talking about that shit, you're gonna get a ton of partners. Number 4, you wanna hire a project manager. So once you start buying consistent properties, 1 a month, 2 a month, you're buying all these properties, you don't have time to be renovating all them or managing the trades. No. That's crap work. It sucks. Even me being a carpenter, I love the industry. You know, I'm a great project manager. It's definitely in my wheelhouse, but I understand that I'm better suited at being a CEO and growing the business, shooting more videos like this to bring more capital into the business so that I can buy more real estate. I don't have time to be running to Home Depot and grabbing materials. So we have an amazing project manager. She's incredible. She runs all the jobs, runs all the trades. We have an in-house crew of paid carpenters on payroll as well. She manages them, does all the payroll, does all of that. She manages the renovation business. So it gives me way more time to, again, like, focus on what's really important, which is getting more capital in this business, buying more properties, keeping her busy, paying my acquisition manager. Like, that's what I'm responsible for, is paying the team, growing the business so that the team can flourish with me. And last but not least, number 5, I kind of alluded to it, but is hiring your own carpenters eventually. When you're starting off, I get it, you can't really hire someone on payroll, it's too risky and you don't wanna let someone go. So you're using contractors, I get it. But once you get to the point where, like I said, you're buying 1 property a month, I would say, consistently, now it's time to start thinking about hiring and starting your own business and hiring carpenters on payroll. It is so much better because the carpenters are the worst in the industry, not the electricians, not the plumbers, not the HVAC guys, not the roofers, not the bricklayers. I'm telling you, if anybody in the construction industry is gonna screw you or give you a hard time, it's gonna be the carpenters, the people laying the floors, doing the painting, demo, all that stuff. They're the ones who are fucking around because, I don't know why. My thoughts are, it is the only trade that doesn't need a certification, like an electrician, a plumber. They have to go to school, they have to do an apprenticeship. So it kind of just cuts, you know, the weeds a little bit. So that might be an idea from what I'm thinking, but the carpenters are always the one who are messing around. And it's not even the one, like, I haven't had bad experiences to the point where, you know, they're breaking the house or taking my money and running. I never really had situations like that. It's more so like small annoying things, which you probably experience, of like, yeah, I'll be here on Monday or Tuesday, but then on Wednesday and Thursday, I gotta do this other job for this other homeowner I'm doing. I'll be back on Friday, but then on that Monday, I'll be away for like half the day for this other job. Like, it's just a bunch of that crap. So your jobs take longer, your renovations take longer, your carrying costs add up, your plumber's pissed because he's trying to get in and do something, but he's gotta wait for the carpenters to finish this. So it's all fighting back and forth. So it was like 2 years of doing that. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna hire my own carpenters, have my own business, and the biggest benefit is control. So I can, you know, or my project manager can say, you're going here Monday and Tuesday, you're gonna demo this wall and you're gonna get this done, and that's it. And they're like, okay, because they're employees, they're on payroll. Yes, boss. There's no like, oh, but I have to go to Lucy's job and there's none of that. It's just, you're going here on Monday, at 9 a.m., you're gonna be here and you're gonna do this. And if you're not, you're fired. Like, it's simple as that. So there's just way more control over having your own contractors on payroll. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you definitely want to check out this free 1-hour webinar right here where I show you how to become a real estate investing millionaire.